Out of all 50 states, 40 have a college coach, that is the highest paid public employee, and 8 out of those remaining 10 have a college dean, chair, or president, that's the highest paid public employee. And this comes from a 2019 article by ESPN. Hello, everybody. My name is Jacob Nyheisel, here today to talk about college tuition prices increasing. And by the end of the speech, you should have a better idea of how colleges are operated and how those inefficiencies in pricing are hidden from both the students and used against them. The colleges have been faced with the major dilemma of adding more programs while keeping costs lower. However, whether or not costs of attendance are worth it, however, there's also inefficiencies that arise in the way of making the college tuition price affordable and offering more, making the education system a consumer market. Now, colleges have been faced with the dilemma, of course, adding more versus keeping costs lower, but it's important to analyze, again, whether or not the cost's worth it. A lifelong investment, should it really take a lifetime to pay off? This comes as college prices are too high. There are ways to keep college prices low, and these ways have these plans or methods have great results to them. With that being said, the solvable problem of college tuition prices increasing needs to be solved now so that it doesn't become a non-solvable problem. College costs have risen so greatly that the high prices need to be known. Why the high prices exist need to be known. Because the product put out requires capital no matter what. In a 2018 Washington Post article, it was noted that college tuition prices varied from the 60s to the 80s because of the addition of major services such as a career center or advising or student center or other facilities. And as presented in a 2020 Washington Post article, the modality of teaching costs just about the same, online versus in person. But the college labor structure could also be to blame for this inefficiency because put forth in a 2019 article by the Kansas City Fed, about 80% of what a college makes is then used to pay its employees. And expanding on that statistic, the National Center for Education Statistics that same year said that just over 1 in 2 professors were full-time professors, meaning that there's some labor inefficiency there. Maybe there's professors not teaching as much as they should or whatever that's spurring this on. When it comes to other programs, colleges still are not efficient. This comes as athletics are a major part of college. In a 2013 article by the Cincinnati Enquirer reported that at Miami University, $1,000 of this college students' tuition money goes to athletics, and also the Knight Commission on Intercollegiate Athletics reported $91,000 per student athlete is spent. This is 7 times more than what is spent on a student. And as a 2014 article from Education Economics sums it up nicely, whether a school adds more facilities, clubs, extracurriculars, or sports, the tuition price tends to go up. And in addition to those reasons why the tuition price tends to go up and why they're high right now, it's important to devise a plan to help them become lower, to make them more affordable ultimately. So equally important are programs to keep tuition prices low that need to be implemented as well. And this comes as government and states ultimately need to let the students in on some of the aid that they want to give to the students. And this is seen in a 2013 article in the Chronicle of Higher Education. State support totaled $76 billion, but it's not as distributed as well. And the Journal of Higher Education also reported on that. And without the distribution, there's really nothing there to take a look at. But this aid also lessened the private spots being taken, and it helped more people afford college, which is a great thing. And then the state or federal government will ultimately have to help. And this was seen in a 2015 article from Papers in Regional Science that highlighted the Hope Scholarship, full tuition scholarship that helped more people pay for college. State employment ultimately increased, and so did the standardized test score, which if the state implements something like that, that's a great thing. However, they can also just set these policies regardless on university admissions, university tuition prices, test policies, and all that, because having a more professional legislator is also that final step in the plan to have kind of controls on the tuition at an institution. There, it was highlighted before that there are, previously at least, the college tuition price is high, and there is a plan to help lower it. And this plan, it's important now to talk about the benefits of the plan. There's benefits to this in that the federal or state intervention from lawmakers on colleges will become more and more prominent, and this ultimately allows the colleges to have some intervention on how they make their money and whether or not the legislature has direct tuition control or not. The Journal of Higher Education reported on this, and they also reported that higher appropriations and lower tuition is a great stepping stone, and this tends to also lead to the appropriations becoming less and colleges becoming more frugal in trying to lower their tuition price. And colleges can compensate with this as well. They tend to try and maybe enroll more students, and this was gotten in a 2014 article from Education Economics. Enrolling more students, receiving more revenue from non-tuition sources, they'll have to look elsewhere for that funding. So upon reflecting on the current problems and solutions of rising college tuition prices, one should be aware that there are inefficiencies on the college side that are presented and often they just go unnoticed. And when searching for colleges, consumers should expect more, but also pay less, because colleges are increasing and strengthening prices just leads to diminishing returns because college tuition prices are too high. Programs to help keep college, there are programs to help with this, and there are benefits to these. Now, whomever state considers its highest paid employee needs to be one that should also be one that represents low college tuition as well, or just in general, somebody who is a hero for the state.